everybody, welcome to Accounting Superstars, the place where you can learn about accounting quick and easy. So folks, today we're going to learn about future value and present value and how this works. It's something incredibly useful for investing, real estate, the stock market, you name it, anything that has to do with money. It's a really, really important concept. And so here we go. I've got a little chart here. We've got 0 for the present, year 1, 2, 3, and 4. So at the end of year 4, we have an opportunity to receive $1,000. If we were an investor with this opportunity to receive $1,000 at the end of year 4, how much would we pay for that opportunity right now? Well, the answer varies. It varies on what the interest rate is. So everything is driven by interest rates. Let's make up an example here. Let's just say that we're going to use 10%. So 10%. Here we go. Let's see what the present value would be. So now, before we get started, one thing really important, and I oftentimes forget this, but Excel is a wonderful tool, but sometimes it's not very bright. And what it is you and I can see that year 1 is blank, year 2 is blank, and year 3 is blank. But Excel doesn't understand it that way. So what we have to do is we have to put in $0 here. So $0. $0. We have to tell Excel that these are zeros. And if you forget to do this, you'll definitely get the wrong answer. So fill it in. Always be sure to do that. Whenever there's a blank spot, put 0. Let's put our cursor right down here. Here's where we want the answer to show up. So here's all you do, folks. It is so easy. You go up here to formulas and you choose financial and come down to NPV. NPV for net present value. And a little chart comes up. And it's asking us the rate, the interest rate. Like I said, everything is driven by interest rates. And let's just use 10% as an example. So come down here to value 1. So I used to do this the hard way, but a student showed me how to do it the easy way. Where it says value 1, highlight all the numbers that we want. We want years 1 through 4 highlighted. And we'll say OK. So there's our answer, and I'm going to round off the pennies here. Here's what's up, folks. The computer here, Excel, is telling us that this $683 is exactly equivalent to this $1,000 in the future. So I'm going to just type in 683 right here just so it makes a little more sense. 683. In other words, this 683, this is an apple and apple. They are totally comparable at 10% interest. To explain it another way, if a person had $683 in some sort of an investment account, and that investment account was earning a 10% interest, that 683 would grow and grow and grow some more and continue growing to the end of the 4th year, and it would be equal to $1,000 at 10% interest. So another way to look at it too is what would a person be willing to pay for this $1,000 if they were demanding or insisting upon a 10% rate of return? Well, they'd pay $683. So let's do this. We're going to run a little bit of an experiment. What if we said, hey, I want a 20% return? Bernie Madoff or something promising you a 20% return. So let's find out what the present value would be in that case. So we do the same thing here, folks. Just go up here to formulas, go to financial, down to NPV, and let's type in 20% interest. So you could type in 20% or 0.20, either way it'll work. Values, highlight all the values that you want, years 1 through 4. And I'm going to get rid of the pennies here. And I'll just write it down up here also, 482. Well, this is saying if you had $482 in an account and you were earning 20% interest, like I wish, this 482 would grow and grow and grow and would continue growing to the fourth year. And at a 20% rate of return, it would be worth $1,000. So in other words, this 482 and this $1,000 is they're completely identical. I know they don't look identical, but they are identical at a 20% rate of return because of the time value of money. So let's run this experiment a little bit more. Let's say, hey, wait a minute. My brother-in-law said if I invest money, I could receive a 30% rate of return. And you know brother-in-laws, they're always right. Let's see here. So let's do this again here, folks. So go to Formulas, Financial, NPV, and here's our chart, and we're going to type in 30% or 0.30. Either way, same thing. Go down here to value, and rather than typing in the values, we can just highlight all the values that we want, years 1 through 4, and we'll press OK. So I'm going to get rid of the pennies here so it's easier to see. So let me put that up here, 350. If we had $350 in an account that earned 30% interest, it would grow and really grow and grow even faster, and by the end of the fourth year, it would be worth exactly $1,000. So, in other words, at a 30% rate of return, this $350 right now in the present is identical to this $1,000. And again, I know they don't look identical because this says $350 and this says $1,000, but they are identical because money has a time value here. So, and to say it another way, if somebody wanted to receive $1,000 in 4 years and they were expecting a 30% rate of return, well, that would be worth $350 today. There we go. Now, look at these interest rates here. This is a very, very important concept here. If you want to understand finance and investing and bonds, the bond market works this way. So whenever the interest rate goes up, the present value goes down. You got that? So whenever interest rates go up, the present value goes down. And the opposite is true also. When interest rates go down, the present value goes up. So this is exactly how the bond market works. A lot of people don't understand that. In fact, it's also how the real estate market works. There's a lot more involved with the real estate market, of course. But when interest rates are falling, there is a pressure for home prices to go up. And when interest rates are rising, then there's a pressure for home prices to go down. So when interest rates go up, asset prices go down. It's always this inverse relationship. It always works this way. So let's run another experiment. Let's see if when interest rates are dropping, let's see what happens. So I'm going to erase this right here. And let's stay at 10% here for a moment. And I'll erase this here too. But let's say that interest rates are dropping. Interest rates are going to be 8%. There we are, 8%. Now, if you can recall what I just said, when interest rates fall, the present value should go up. So let's see if that's true. So what we do is go up here to Formulas, go to Financial, go to NPV, Net Present Value, and here's that handy chart. So the rate is going to be 8%, so I can type in 8% or 0.08. Either way, it's going to be the same thing. And where the values are, I'm going to highlight the values that I want, years 1 through 4. Do you notice that I never highlight 0, ever? So here we go. So look at that. When interest rates are dropping, the present value gets higher. So let's try out 4%. Here's 4%. Let's see what kind of an answer we get there. Go to Financial, down to NPV, And the rate is going to be 4%, so 0.04 or 4%. Value, instead of typing all the values, highlight years 1 through 4, and there you are, 855. So look at that. So I'm going to type 855 up here for a minute. So here's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. If you had $855 in the bank today and it was you were earning a 4% rate of return, which I don't think many banks do that, but if you were earning a 4% rate of return, this $855 would grow and grow and grow, and at the end of 4 years it would be worth $1,000. So, and to say it another way, this $1,000 and this $855 are completely equal. They don't look equal, they look different, but they are totally equal at a 4% rate of return. They would not be equal at any other interest rate, but at 4% they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, you learned a couple of things here. One thing very important, when interest rates are falling, present values are rising. So if interest rates are dropping in the real estate market, there's an upward pressure in real estate prices. Same thing in the bond market, same thing in the stock market too. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we'll see you again.